Morning, chaps. How the devil? It is the 8th of April. Still not quite used to doing the date arse backwards out here in the colonies. Quite a lot in tonight. It's a Friday. Why aren't you out boozing, you sad bastards? Still, if you're after staying, I know a lot of you boycotted the pubs, didn't you, when they started with those ridiculous mask mandates. As I said, I got quite a lot of flack for it at the time. I was living in Nottingham, wasn't I? And as soon as I got the chance to sit in a boozer, I snatched it. I gripped it. I gripped it with both hands like my granddad's cock. I'm kidding. Again, I have to get a penis reference in at some point. This is for the old school, the people that were here before it was cool. I took it. And I know it was a bit. There's some of you that are purists that are ridiculously dogmatic, and as a bad-tempered, stubborn, chippy northern prick, I most surely appreciate that. However, I'm not as dogmatic as you, and as soon as I could, I went on the piss, even if I had to occasionally wear a mask. It was fucking stupid. I mean, it was stupid out here. It's the daftest thing ever out here in California. They only got rid of it about a month ago. You had to wear a mask when you walked in, and then it says sit wherever you want, and then as soon as you sit down, you can do what the fuck you please. And you'd be in places that were chock-a-block with people. The brewery near my house, there'd be 60 people in there sitting at the bar. Or the bar's rammed, the tables are all chocker. It's an enclosed space. People are sneezing and coughing and farting, and everyone's manhandling things, you know. The proof that it gets predominantly spread not by sneezing but by touching things, right? Because you wipe your nose or something, or cough into your hand, and then you touch your glass or put your hands on the bar, and somebody else touches the bar, and then you've got that shit all over you. So totally ridiculous. Out here in California. As I've said though, we do get a bit of flack that we don't really deserve out here in California, because if you look at an electoral map of California, it isn't just a big blue stain. It's basically, I mean, certainly everyone I talk to in the boozer here seems to be pretty right-leaning, and I've gone on a few rants against the walk, and you very, very rarely get anyone who'll disagree with you. Although that does might be me. Maybe they look at me going a bit mental in the middle of the pub and think probably best not to talk to him. But very rarely people have a pop. It seems to me that most people out here are reasonable. So if you actually look at an electoral map, the state's not a big blue stain. It's a big blue thumbprint over Los Angeles, San Diego, San Francisco, sort of that 30 square miles, Silicon Valley, and everywhere else is red, because the people who live in the sticks aren't fucking lunatics. And even the Democrat voters out here, like I've said, there's plenty of them who I talk to in the boozer on a day out, in the brewery. I'm trying to think of day outs that I do that aren't drinking. When else do I talk to people? Possibly at a restaurant or in a supermarket. But generally, in the boozers, you talk to people, and obviously me being a gobshite, I talk to people about politics all the time who I don't know very well. And I would say even 9 out of 10 Democrat voters have got no sense, no time for this woke bollocks. So I think it's a bit unfair to label it California, but that's the way it is, isn't it? It's the same as everyone in Middlesbrough gets called a lefty twat, whereas Borough, I mean, yeah, all you have to do to get an electoral victory in the United Kingdom with that first past the post shit is to get one more vote than the next guy. And there's loads of northern towns, what they call the Red Wall, that are full of bad-tempered, owled conservative people that are pissed off. So, you know, I know you have to paint with broad brushes, but it is a bit unfair. Anyway, stop talking shit and let's do some news, shall we? This one I couldn't get on the BBC because obviously, despite the fact the BBC is taxpayer funded to the tune of about £1 billion a year. I mean, how much do they actually get now? It used to be in the hundreds of millions when I was a lad, but obviously they keep bumping the price up because they don't need to compete with anyone. I think we must be in the billions by now, right? 140 quid or something from 50 million non-based people in the general public who still give their money to that fucked up organisation. They're in the billions, and lunacy, I know. With a mere £1 billion, 3 billion. Is it 3 billion? I don't fucking imagine how many useful things you could pay for with 3 billion quid. That's unbelievable. 3 billion. The BBC is a stain. It's a boil on the arse of humanity, and we give them £3 billion a year. How bad's that? Oh, Alligator Pie. Hello, one of my subscribe star funders sent me lots of moose pelts over the years. Thank you, Alligator Pie. And one of the few based related to earlier tirade about labelling everyone a communist. Alligator Pie's a based man who lives in Canada. And there is a fucking wet blanket of a country, Canada. Although they did elect Prime Minister Blackface in, so that maybe they had. Unless he just was so convincing with his constant desire to dress up as Aladdin that they actually thought they were voting in a person of colour. maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's why he won. So yeah, fucking Canada. So Lucid Agrippinside gave his TV away recently and hasn't used it since 2018. Yeah, I watch very, very little television these days. Basically, I download what I want to watch. And all, I mean, I think other than working out, I never watch telly. I listen to it when I'm on my rowing machine or I'll watch something, but never just sit and watch TV. Fuck them, right? Fuck them. I don't want. They're all in on it, right? It's not just Silicon Valley and the mainstream media, it's the TV networks. So when you're like us and you're based and actually know what's going on in the world, you don't want to give any of them your money, do you? You don't want to give Disney any money. You give Netflix any money. Fucking Amazon. All of them. So yeah, if you're not going to watch BBC, well then you shouldn't watch bastard Netflix either. So yeah, if you've got any ability to circumvent these fuckers, even if it makes your life slightly less easy, take that chance, because they're all degenerates are in on it, aren't they? They're all in on it. 3.75 billion. My God. I tell you what, I think I'd rather send 3.75 billion to the fucking Taliban at this point. I mean, at least the Taliban are only fucking their own people. The BBC helps fuck up the entire world. I mean, think of that. We're basically spending our own taxes on promoting a communist ideology that we know wrecks civilizations. How bad's that? Like, at least if we were just fucking everything up organically, it'd merely be embarrassing. We're spending our hard-earned taxes on deconstructing and devaluing our entire society. We're unraveling it. And we're paying for it. No wonder we're fucked. No wonder we're fucked. The Chinese and everybody else is doing the best to fuck us, but we're doing it ourselves. I cannot believe that. I cannot believe the BBC still gets public money. And again, the scumbag conservatives who were about as conservative as an ISIS in a museum with a lump hammer. They don't conserve anything. That albino jellyfish Johnson conserves nothing. So don't tell me they're fucking conservative. As soon as they floated the idea of possibly defunding the BBC, didn't they, the slimy, sneaky rat bastards that they are? But the second they got into power, they were like, yeah, the BBC's sound. It's sound. What do you mean, fatty? They've been picking on you for 14 years. Boris Johnson's like my fat younger brother that I'm going to like. What, he comes and tells me that he's just been raped with a broom shank by one of those school bullies. And then I go and fucking pat the bully on the head and say, oh, he's all right, really? He's only reamed during the shitters. You should be looking out for the little guy. Boris Johnson should be fucking slamming the BBC. The BBC's the school bully. Yeah, so let's reverse that metaphor. The BBC's the school bully. I'm the fucking first year who's just had his head flushed down the toilet. And Boris Johnson's my older brother, and he just comes in and goes, dig it. Give him a few digs in the ribs while you're at it, BBC. What a slimy shitbag Boris Johnson is. I fucking hate Boris Johnson. Salty Cracker. Yeah, I've told you I like Salty Cracker. I watch him all the time. He's not as good as me, like, but you know, I'm biased. But he's funny. He's one of the few YouTubers that does actually make me laugh. Although maybe I'm biased as well because I was raised. I mean, I was reading Viz magazine when I was 8 and listening to Chubby Brown tapes. So I'm particularly foul-mouthed, and I was a bootneck. So I only find comedians really funny when they're genuinely offensive and foul-mouthed. I know that's childish, but I don't care. He's got better hair than me. Fucking, if you say so. I mean, seriously, if you're a bloke sitting watching this, my mate Muzzy, hello if Muzzy sees this, my mate Muzzy from Saltburn, he's proper got big curtains now. Like, I was a child of the 90s, right? In my school, you're either allowed a short back and sides, tapered in, couldn't have a ball head. Could have a short back and sides or a fucking crew cut, something like this. Just shave all your hair off. Curtains, whips, fucking bangs, perms. It was all off the rules. You weren't allowed any of it, or you'd get tortured. So I don't see how he's got better hair than me. I think a receding crew cut is far better than any man with a fucking hair past their ears. Like, it's shocking. I know I'm probably offending loads of you in the chat. There's about to be blokes here with fucking whips and ponytails and all sorts of daft shit going on. Yeah, to me, I'd rather have a crew cut than a fucking whatever it is Salty's got going on there. Whips. Chubby Brown, he is a good Chubby Brown joke, I always remember. This is off one of his old tapes. My dad gave me his tapes when I was about 10, and one of them was called Piss Pot. And he said, I went into hospital for an operation last year. He said there was a Pakistani bloke in the bed next to me. He'd been eating that kitty cat. His stomach was all right, but he'd hurt his neck licking his arsehole. He's fucking class, Chubby. So that's where all credit for this channel should go to Chubby Brown and the Viz, because I digested that from the age of about 8. And I think that's where most of my quips come from. So yeah, Chubby, my fucking hero. Oh yeah, and as for Salty Cracker, I did mean to plug this because I restarted. I know I told you fuckers I'd never go on Twitter again, but I can't help it. There's so many wankers on there that I want to argue with. Again, I don't have the principles quite as high as the most dogmatic of my followers, right? So even though I didn't agree with the mask mandate, I still went to the boozer as soon as I could. And got pissed whilst occasionally wearing a mask. And even though I hate Twitter, I can't bring myself to not go on there because I love arguing with wankers. So until I get thrown off the fucking platform, here's my Twitter account for anybody who wants to watch it. Yeah, I remember Sheffield. Oh yeah, Sheffield cancelled Chubby. Absolute scumbags, aren't they? Absolute scumbags. There's my Twitter account, and I haven't plugged it for a fortnight, so I'll do my Twitch one while I'm at it, because remember, ultimately, we're all on borrowed time. Anybody who's not woke, you can be as reasonable as you like. Anybody who's not woke is on borrowed time in Silicon Valley. So remember, if I suddenly disappear one day and you turn up at 7:30 or thereabouts, I'm not particularly anal about my timings, and I'm not there anymore, you'll need to go on Twitch or Facebook to find me. So, yeah, there's my Twitch account. Who else did I want to plug? Oh, yeah, everybody who's good to me on YouTube, on Twitter, or who is sensible. So that would be what? Blue Van Man, Paz, Rotten Politics. Who else do I like? Simon Sideways. Voltaire's Ghost was my favourite out of everyone, but he doesn't seem to post anymore. Maybe the gorilla fucked him as well. Susan, one day we'll have my vengeance upon you, in this life or the next. You fucking whore. I don't think that last bit was out the film. I wasn't quoting Russell Crowe verbatim there. Right, let's do some news. oh yeah, we got a problem, class, but he doesn't need my fucking help, does he? He seems to be one of them that has been relatively unmolested by Silicon Valley. I know he's more prolific than most, but I've said this before. I think they let one in like 20 slip through the net. Like for every 19 they ban, they let one get advertised, and then they go, oh yeah, we don't ban anyone, but obviously you fucking do. So like, you know what I mean? They'll point at someone like Sargon, or we got a problem. Someone who's in the high six figures, and they'll go, oh, see, we don't ban anyone. Yeah, but for everyone you do allow some amount of promotion. You fuck everybody else. Also, he is a lot more prolific, so he deserves it, doesn't he? This is true though, right? And this is what I think about why ultimately, despite the attempts of those Silicon Valley scumbags, you can still see that life is a meritocracy, because there's people with channels like 10 times bigger than mine who don't get as many people show up for their lives. You know what I mean? There's people out there with 60, 70, 80,000 subs, and they do a live, and you get about 100 people turn up. Bootneck's got a big, loyal, sensible, handsome following. I don't know what most of you look like, but you know what I'm saying. It's bollocks. We're all getting fucked with, aren't we? We're all getting fucked with. Again, we got a problem. He's probably getting fucked with as well, to some degree. But, oh no, the Britisher, I used to watch him as well. I used to watch him years ago when Sargon pointed me his way. 3 weeks. Shocking, isn't it? They just keep on dragging you down until you give up. But I'm not doing it, ladies and gentlemen. They have not counted for the bootneck mindset. They've not counted on the stubborn fury of the Angry Bootneck. It could be me and Kate in the chat, and I'll still keep fucking making content and doing live streams, because I am fueled not by fat, protein, and carbohydrate. I am fueled by rage and hate. Rage, hate, and fresh air. That's all I fucking need. Also, the Angry Yorkshireman. Yeah, I used to watch him. Bastards. Right. Well, we've got to keep on keeping on, haven't we? Anyway, it's enough plugging everybody else. Let's do some news. At least one or two before I allow you all to go and get pissed in blissful silence. So this story wasn't on the BBC, because even though we pay for them, they don't do the fucking job properly and tell you about news stories that annoys them. Police raid the office of Unite Union's HQ in fraud investigation. The dirty, lying, sneaky commies in charge of Unite the Union are finally getting twatted by HMRC. Wonderful. Occasionally the woke twats at the Home Office let something slip through the net. They've raided the office of the UK's biggest union as part of an investigation into bribery, money laundering and fraud. More than 20 Rozzers arrived unannounced on Wednesday at the offices of Unite in Holborn and seized documents, notebooks and a computer. Get in. A Unite spokesman said, Chairman Mao is my hero, Stalin did nothing wrong, and red or dead. Red or dead. Or something like that. You can read it yourself there if you want, but I paraphrased and I think I summed it up quite neatly. Moving on, Unite was Labour's most generous donor under Jeremy Corbyn's leadership of the party. I thought, you know what I'm going to have to do now? Because some fucking commie's going to see that bit and go, oh my God, he's a spear merchant like everybody else. There's the fucking story, right? This is a comedy. It's a comedy channel more than anything else. There's the story if you want, by some fucking if you're a raving lunatic and you want to read it yourself, you can read it yourself. Obviously, I was paraphrasing there. The police spokesman said South Wales Police has executed warrants as part of an investigation into allegations of bribery, fraud and money laundering, executed Wednesday, 6th of April. And the investigation is with HMRC, and a number of suspects will be interviewed in due course. The only thing that annoys me about this is, right, these fucking maggots only care about money. My old man always told me you can get away with fucking anything, but you can't take money off the bastard government. And it's true, isn't it, to this day? They will smear and lie and obfuscate and cheat and backstab and steal and do anything to promote the causes of the left. The BBC, Sky News, fucking Unite the Union. They will suck Unite cock till till its helmet is as shiny as a fucking guardsman's boots. But the second they seem like they're not getting their bit, they will fucking body slam you. So this annoys me. If it wasn't about them nicking money, they wouldn't have looked into Unite. It's all about getting their bit, and it pisses me off. It massively pisses me off. It's all about getting the money. Twats like us, honestly. Do you know how much we get taxed in Britain? This pisses me off. Yeah, let's rant about fucking money for a little bit, right? The bootneck is not wealthy. Bootneck is just a working class bloke who, because of his personality, saves his money. So comparatively, you could say I'm wealthy because I'm not on minus. Right? This is the point I've always made about these fucking homeless people in Britain. You know, we never used to get homeless people in Britain. Never used to see them. Because when we looked after our own, instead of importing fucking millions of scruffy twats from all around the planet, there was never any homeless people in Britain. You used to go for a walk around London in the 90s and you never used to see tramps. And when you did see a tramp, he was a local lad who everybody knew was the local tramp. Oh, there's Yozza, the local fucking scrubber. And he just sits around drinking special brew all day. And people would occasionally give him a can because, you know, you felt a bit sorry for him because he was just one of them blokes who couldn't get his life in order. When my missus and me went walking around London last year, she was astounded because she's seen it change. She's American, obviously lived in the UK for fucking years. And she's seen it change in her lifetime. She's seen it go from never any tramps anywhere to fucking tramps all over, like tents, Somalians, totally rammed with random foreigners begging for fucking change all the time. So Bootneck's not wealthy. I mean, look at my jobs. This is why, as a conservative person, I've got a little bit of scorn for people on dole or on benefits or single mothers constantly crying about not having any money, because I've never in my life had a job that's paid shitloads of money. The best gig I've ever had, I mean, I'd share my fucking bank accounts online if I was a politician. I'd put them up on my website if I was an MP, and I'd publish every penny I fucking spent, because that's what they should do to gain people's trust. I'd probably do it now, but who cares? And I'm concerned about fraud. But basically, in my long life, I've never earned more than about 50 grand a year, ever. I left the car, earned fuck all, worked driving a truck for the council for about 4 years. What was that paying? I think the most I ever earned in a year there was about 28 grand. Moved to America. I've done some shocking jobs. I waited tables working in a bakery when the first day I got my green card, because I was sat waiting for it. And when it arrived, I could finally get a job. I went out that day, went out shopping with my missus. And as we walked past a place in Pasadena called the Corner Bakery, they had a sign in the window saying, help wanted. So I walked in and went, hey, all right, I've just got my green card. Can I have a job in here? And the bloke was like, you can wash dishes. And I went, yeah, that'll do. And I did that for a year. Enjoyed myself. I did dishwashing, emptying the deliveries, waiting the tables. Did that for a bit. Then took a gig doing disabled aircraft recovery, which was how I fell into aerospace by pure luck. And then I earned some good money. But I even think doing that in my best year, I probably only earned about $70,000. So maybe that's about 40 grand. And then I worked in it for Games Workshop. I've never earned tons of money, but I'm dead frugal. I'm a tight northern bastard. And I've obviously, as a result of that, got money in the bank. I've got money in my current account, money in my checkings account. I've got a fucking 401k and I've got some stock. And that's just from being a normal person, never earning big bucks. So when you get scruffy cunts whinging, it's like, I don't believe you. These fat chavs who are from the council estate in Borough, who I know, again, when you meet veterans who lie, yeah, no kids does help. I will definitely concede that, Teresa. But again, I'm not under any delusions about that, because people think they can kid a kidder. You know, when you get like veterans who try and lie to you, like it's happened to me loads of times. And I was a fucking bootneck for 10 years and I deployed five operational deployments. And I'll go to a bar and some people, I'll try and lie. They'll be like, oh yeah, I was a Royal Marine. I'm like, really? Yeah. And then I just let them talk. And I can tell within 60 seconds when someone's bullshitting me, even if they weren't a Royal Marine, if they were just a squaddy who claims to have deployed to Iraq or Afghanistan, you just know straight away. You just know straight away that they're talking shit. And it's the same with poverty. because I'm working class scum from Middlesbrough. That's like the top of the heap of working class scum. If there is a heap, probably a heap of fag ends, special brew cans and dog shit. Middlesbrough's the top of it. So when I get some fucking career welfare recipient who just drops kids left, right and centre, Mick Philpott's fucking missus, whoosh, there's a kid, whoosh, there's another one, whoosh, there's another one, just squirting them out left, right and centre. And then I see them on fucking telly, on Look North, because they always get the thickest people on Look North. I mean, I have a conspiracy theory about that as well. I think the middle-class wankers from down south, again, I'm a chippy northerner, you all know it. I think the middle-class wankers from down south purposely get the thickest people they can find on when they're interviewing anyone up north. I've said this before. If you go to fucking the Borough Stadium, there's loads of normal people like me who have a sizable vocabulary and an arse that isn't the same size as the back end of a double-decker bus, right? But whenever you see the BBC interviewing people at the Borough Stadium, it's always some toothless, one-eyed fucking mutant. I swear to God, I am a conspiracy theorist. I think everybody down south wants to laugh at us because I am a chippy northern wanker and I'm convinced to do it on purpose. To go, here we are talking to some Middlesbrough fans. What did you think of the game? It's some toothless, one-eyed fucking mutant. The whole family's there. There'll be like 9 kids, mum, dad, 3 cousins, and there's fucking 8 teeth between them. And they're all fat knackers and they've all got the brains of a fucking pork pie. And I'm sitting home going, Jesus, they never stop any normal people. And they've even put Jonathan Woodgate on fucking commentating. And have you heard Woody? Again, he's a personal friend of mine. I went to school with Woody. He used to sleep at my house when we were teenagers, I've told you. If I see him out, he always goes, all right, tell how you doing. But Woody, bless his cotton socks, is not the sharpest tool in the box. Fantastic footballer. If he'd have stayed off the drink and the drugs, Woody'd have been the top fucking boy. But fantastic footballer, not the sharpest tool in the box. Let's put him on the fucking telly. I mean, they did it with Merson, I guess because they feel sorry for him because he's mentally ill. He's completely off his tits, Merson. Have you seen the clip of it? Another conspiracy. Thinking about it, innit? They fired all the white boys, hired a load of black fellas, and then the only one that kept on is completely fucking tonto and apparently has the IQ of a fucking sausage roll. So, I mean, now you go to Football Focus, it's like black dude, brown woman, white bloke. I used to be a gambler. You fucking wankers. I don't believe they're not doing it on purpose. I don't believe it. In fact, now I'm in the middle of a rant. Let's find it. Middlesbrough, BBC. Let me fucking see if I can find this story. Here we are. Found it. Look at this. This was a real piece on fucking BBC. I'm sure I might have showed you it before because I've been at this for fucking years now. Look at this here.
But some in Middlesbrough won't have it.
Tomorrow.
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 It's tomorrow.
No, it's tomorrow.
Butter.
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 Listen. Butter.
Butter.
That's it. Say again.
Butter.
Very good. Thank you very much. Standard English on the streets of Teesside.
Very good. How good is that at the end? Very good. Like a school professor in Oxford who's being told he has to do one charity event a year and try to educate a downy with a square head. Like that is unbelievable, isn't it? Well done, old chap. And then goes standard English on the streets of Middlesbrough. The fucking arseholes. They do it on purpose. So that's why Woody's on the telly. That's why Merson's got his job with all of the people of colour, because he's a fucking idiot. And that's why every time they stop outside the Riverside Stadium, everyone they talk to hasn't got 2 brain cells to rub together. It's a conspiracy, I'm telling you. And the FA as well. They're in on it. Football Association. Tottenham get fucked for financial irregularities, which is highly illegal, dodging the taxes, sneaky, slimy, cheating snakes that they are. And what happens to Tottenham? Oh, well, they get all the points back on an appeal, and we'll just take some money off them. Borough get decimated by the flu. 17 players missing from the squad, can't turn up for the Blackburn game, fucking 3 points took off them, relegated. See you later. I mean, don't tell me there isn't a conspiracy against the North. Yeah, I know it's like Game of Thrones, but I'm a chippy northerner and it pisses me off. The fucking FA's full of cunts. The British government's full of cunts. Every one of them's got it in for us. And the BBC are just as bastard bad. Anyway, there's me rant about being a chippy northerner finished with. I apologise for people with gay hair, southerners in general, and anyone who has an RP accent. You're not all bad. We're not communists on this channel. But you are allowed to generalise when you're mid-rage boner, aren't you? All right. What else should we talk about? Oh yeah, here's something good that's not related to the BBC. Let's relax a bit. When I'm not reading the BBC, I'm a calm and splendid fellow who likes skipping through the meadows and picking the daisies. MSNBC political analyst calls Elon Musk's Twitter purchase like arsonists cosplaying as firefighters. Anand Giridharadas. Fuck me. Say that 5 times pissed. I mean, again, is that a microaggression? This is the world we're living in, isn't it? There's no such thing as an honest mistake anymore. I guarantee some fucker from The Guardian will see this little segment and they'll go, fucking hell, he couldn't pronounce a name that's completely alien to him because he was from 25 generations of British people. Therefore, he despises anybody that's foreign. I mean, this is the world we're fucking living in, isn't it? It's like nowadays, if you get in an argument with a fat bloke, you go, look at that fat prick. They'll go, oh yeah, why do you want to gas all the fat people? Where did you get that from? Where did you get that from? Well, that's the sentence I would use to sum up this fucking story. Where did you get that from? That could be a new segment, couldn't it? Where did you get that from? Where did you get that from? With the Angry Bootneck. Because every time I watch left-wing fucking media, you just sit there shaking your head going, where did you get that from? Where did you get that from? And these people, when it comes to real news, they couldn't see it if it was a giant diplodocus dressed in a neon green shell suit. They can't fucking see anything when there's real news right out there. Some woke twat goes on a machine gun rampage and the BBC will have the headline news will be Gordon Ramsay bakes a cake, you cunts. I mean, this is the world we're living in. But they can't find news. They can't find real news if it's tattooed on their ass. So let's just watch this. This is a fantastic one for my opening segment of where the fuck did you get that from? Look at this. Where did they even get the brass neck to make these allegations? Just look at this. I saw this on the Lotus Eaters. Come on, you fucking vulva.
Hair down there?
Look at the advert.
That's a no-go.
Look at the advert of a vulva. Even the adverts are brilliant. Even the ads are brilliant. Oh, is there no sound? Fuckers. Not working. There we go.
Wash deeper, smell fresher, shave closer, the pressure. But what if it's not true and we're perfectly fine? What if there's a cleanser that let our true selves shine? You don't need to change. Please know that's true. Love your vulva and use our pH balancing cleanser that doesn't change you. From Love Wellness.
Yeah, I'm
bastard.
glad you brought up.
Sound off. I really wanted to show that. Anyway, well, I'll just have to do an impression of it. Basically, because Elon Musk bought a stake in Twitter, they said he was a fucking fascist, Nazi fucker, and the real reason he bought Twitter was because he has fantasies of apartheid South Africa. I mean, where the fuck did they get it from? How bad was that advert? Yeah. Love your vulva. These fucking people are sick. All right, so we can't do that one. If you want to see it, go and watch the Lotus Eaters podcast. They did a great piece on that. But yeah, they are completely fucking deranged. And I just feel as if it's like a really, really unfair. It's disgraceful the way they smear people. Just because you don't like Elon Musk buying a little stake in Twitter. He's not even a majority owner. You shouldn't have the right to just fucking smear him out of the blue. He's a grown man. He's in his fucking, his late 40s now. Nobody in his life has ever accused him of doing anything racist. Ever. And yet, the second he does something they don't like, they're like, racist, neo-Nazi, loves apartheid South Africa. It's a fucking crime what they do. They just spew insults at people with no evidence. It's almost as immoral as, like I said, doing it in a criminal way, like a woman saying, a woman who quite clearly, to everybody who's got a fucking brain in their head, is lying about getting raped. If you get like some bird who some of the football ones are shocking, aren't they? Because the footballers are rich and they know it. They pick the footballer up in a nightclub. They're necking on with them in the nightclub, trying to lick the fucking back of the tonsils, right? Trying to punch the tongue through the back of the head like aliens. Blech. And they're all on camera. And they're grabbing the tits and the minges hanging out, and they're all on camera, and then they're on the camera getting in the taxi, and then they're on CCTV getting out of the taxi, and they're going to the hotel room with them, and they all do it all. One of them who accused the footballer of rape was videotaped. She goes in the room, and 2 minutes later, she remembers she's forgot a pizza, so she runs back out and grabs the fucking pizza out of the taxi, and then the same woman just goes out and goes, oh yeah, he raped me for a couple of seconds after I did the striptease with the cucumber. Yeah, he's a rapist. I mean, and any normal person goes, yeah, that's total fucking bollocks. And the type of things that the left do now, where you can have been a good man and a good person and an egalitarian person and a charitable person your whole fucking life, and then you upset the walk for 5 minutes, and all of a sudden you're a racist, sexist, homophobe. Racist, sexist, homophobe. That's a little mantra they like, isn't it? It's despicable behaviour. It's despicable. It's as despicable as lying about being abused or something, because there's people out there that are racist, sexist, homophobes, and we don't spend any time talking about them, because now whenever anybody, it's like Jussie Smollett. Because now when anybody hears the fucking word racist, sexist, homophobe, the mantra, you just instantly assume that the person it's directed at is definitely not a racist, sexist, homophobe. So it's criminal what they're doing. It's criminal. Just as a woman who lies about getting raped, oh yeah, he definitely raped me for a few seconds after I showed him the porn and, wanked it for a little bit. Yeah, a couple of seconds. The women that do that, they make it hard for real rape victims to get justice. And it's the exact same as these fucking lunatics calling absolutely everybody a far-right neo-Nazi. Macron's at it here. We can segue neatly into this. So they're all fucking lying. All lying about everybody. And Macron's having a pop now. The Polish PM is a far-right anti-Semite. Well, I'll judge this not by the words and deeds of the Polish Prime Minister, but again, by something that sits well with me, being a Democrat, right? I'm a Democrat. Not an American Democrat. I mean, the dictionary definition of the word. I believe in democracy, right? Which president do you think is the most popular with their people? Emmanuel, short-ass, little fucking poison dwarf Macron, the fucking rubber-faced banker from hell, or the Polish PM, Mateusz Morawiecki. Again, I've probably butchered that pronunciation. Don't want another enraged Welshman having a pop. So if there's any very angry Polish people in the chat, sorry. I'm from Middlesbrough. As you've just seen, we can't even pronounce the word butter. So don't be having a go at me. You can't fucking pronounce butter or cartoon or potato or anything with a fucking T in it. How would you expect me to get Mateusz Morawiecki fucking right? Right? So just sorry in advance. Okay. But we don't even need to discuss the individual merits of the Polish Prime Minister, because think about it. Ultimately, it is irrelevant. It's one thing calling Elon Musk names that he doesn't deserve throwing at him. But ultimately, it's irrelevant when you're talking about politicians, because only two things matter when you're talking about a politician. This is what I ranted about last week with regards to the fucking non-insult populism. That means nothing. If you're left wing and you win an election by a landslide, yeah, democracy in action, yeah, man. Fucking hippies, yeah, bro. Even though you drive a fucking Humvee, you cunt. But if you win by a landslide and you're not a woke globalist cunt, then you're a populist. Ooh, a despicable populist. What you mean, popular? Yeah. What you mean is the people who inhabit his country and are of voting age actually voted for him. Yeah. And that's bad. Why? It's bad. Why? That's like going to the car wash. You drive through the fucking machine, and when you get to the other side, it's immaculate. Whoa. What have you done to me car, you cunt? Get that fucking little Indian fella out the bastard garage to come out here, drop his drawers, and snap one off on me bonnet. Because I didn't come to a car wash to get me fucking car cleaned. No. I want an Indian man to shit all over it. This is the world we're living in. Again, how mad do you have to be? How mad do you have to be? Fucking populist. You mean the cunt won easily? Because the people like him? I mean, Jesus Christ. So yeah, bollocks. It means nothing. If you're popular and everybody likes you and you're a woke cunt, then yeah, nice one, winner, democracy in action. But if you're popular and you win by a landslide and you're not a woke cunt, we must do something about this dirty populist. What a load of bollocks. So I don't want to obfuscate the point by talking about the individual characteristics of the Polish PM. All I'll point at is Macron is deeply unpopular and most of his country thinks he's a twat. A little fucking pipsqueak who is as regal as any French president from ages past. And what, they're on the fucking Fifth Republic now because they can't run a piss up in a brewery. But he is a throwback to a bygone age, a regal, aloof, arrogant, poisoned dwarf who is about as popular as a fucking fart in a spacesuit. And yet, he has the brass neck to have a pop at the Polish Prime Minister. How many times have you negotiated with Putin and what have you achieved? The Polish PM said on Monday. So the shit he's throwing at him is completely ridiculous. You shouldn't just accuse people of anti-Semitism on a whim, just because you're unpopular and he points out that you're unpopular. He also said he wanted to help his rival, Marine Le Pen, in the French election on Sunday. Well, if the Polish Prime Minister, who isn't a globalist shill, enthralled to foreign money and who treats random Somalian goat herders better than his own French electorate that votes for him, he's allowed to have an opinion on the French president election, isn't he? Isn't he? He didn't say he interfered in the French election. He didn't say marched into the fucking Paris, rolled over the Eiffel Tower in a tank, called Napoleon a twat, and then drove off. He said he wanted to help his rival, Marine Le Pen. Well, he's allowed to help, isn't he? I'll just remind you, Barack Obama flew all the way to bastard Britain because he wanted to help David Spunk Bowser stop Brexit from happening. Nobody complained about that at the BBC, did they? That's just fine and dandy. When the most powerful man in the world, the leader of the free fucking world, a foreign president, flies all the way into Britain and says, don't vote for Brexit, you cunt, so you'll be at the back of the queue. The back of the queue. They don't even use that word. He was obviously paraphrasing Cambo. So that's all right, isn't it? That's all right. That's totally fine. But the Polish Prime Minister is not allowed to say, yeah, to be honest, I definitely prefer the fucking woman because he's a feminist, yeah? I definitely prefer the woman over this horrible, self-serving, elitist, aloof, globalist fucking midget. Well, he's entitled to his opinion, Mr. Macron, you fucking little twat. Opinion polls show Miss Le Pen has closed the gap on Mr. Macron. I will piss myself laughing if she can pull that off. I will. If she can pull that off, I'll pull myself off. That's how happy I'll be. Polish government spokesman. And again, some people have pointed out, right, that there's a bit of a discrepancy in Bootneck's political ideology. Because on some things, I'm very left-wing. And on some things, I'm very right-wing. And I bounce around all over the place. But I would say that that is called being a free thinker. And let me just say, I want Le Pen to win in France because France is France. I don't think other countries around the world need a far-right candidate. If a nation has gone too far to the right, then I'll advocate for a centrist or centre-left candidate. I think balance is key to life. I've talked about it many times. I think it's key to living a good life is balance. Exercise a bit, drink a bit, eat a bit of meat, eat a bit of veg. I think balance works in all things. The Chinese fucking philosophers from 3,000 years ago were very right. Yin and yang. That's what I believe in. So I don't think I'm contradicting myself when I change my political opinions depending upon which country you're talking about. France needs help. Drastically. France is in a way worse position than Britain. I don't advocate a far-right approach to British politics. This is what I've said before, because all you need to do to fix Britain is have a centrist, old-fashioned conservative, socially liberal. Margaret Thatcher was my favourite Prime Minister, and all you've got to do is apply the existing laws. And again, I fall out with the fucking white nationalist types and the very right-wing people all the time over this. But Britain isn't as bad as France. If we just applied the existing laws, deported the fucking, I mean, what are we at now? Millions? We must have 1 million illegal immigrants in Britain. 2 million? I don't even know. All we need to do in Britain, we don't need to segregate by race. We don't need to fucking do any of that white nationalist shit. All we need to do in Britain is apply the law as it was intended. Deport people who should be getting deported. Aggressively screen anybody who wants to move to Britain so we don't import fucking lunatics like the Libyan killers whose son blew up the Manchester Arena. All we need to do in Britain is apply the existing law, and you don't even need to go crazy. And it's important we don't go crazy to the far right because we live in a global world and you need allies and pals. And if they make you a pariah state, and that's what they do with Britain if we voted in some fucking proper hardcore, don't care if you were born in Britain, if you've got a bit of a tan, that type of shit, it'd be a pariah state anyway. So to placate those on the far right, I always tell them this. You need balance in life. And the balance in Britain is simple. People born and raised there who've never fucking hurt anybody and never harmed a fly, it doesn't matter where the grandparents came from. All you need to do is apply the existing law. You'd end up deporting 2 million fucking scumbags. You'd stop importing scumbags. The NHS would suddenly have hundreds of thousands of spare fucking beds. The schools wouldn't be full anymore. The doctors and the dentists wouldn't be full anymore. The congestion would go down. Fucking hell, we'd even have a smaller climate footprint. There's plenty of left-wing arguments for a bastard application of a good centre-right conservative fucking government. There's loads of left-wing arguments. It'd help the working class out. The working class's wages would rise. This is class warfare being waged because the wealthy woke elites are importing foreigners to do all the fucking menial jobs all the time. There's dozens of good reasons, left-wing arguments, to apply the law as written. That's all Britain needs to do. Get the fucking Navy in the Channel. Stop illegal immigrants to Britain. Deport the people that shouldn't be there. Apply the law equally. You don't even need that shit in the UK, but you do need to take some serious steps in France because France is fucked. They're already on the Fifth Republic. They can't run a piss up in a brewery. So this is why I change my mind depending on what nation you're in. America, you don't need a far-right candidate in America. American politics is right-wing. You just need nationalism. Not white. That's the bit that they always stick in on a whim. No, you just need prime ministers and presidents who do the best for their own country. And Macron doesn't give a fuck about France. He's like Merkel. He's like Boris. When something happens in world affairs, he doesn't say, is this good for Britain or France or Germany, respectively, right? Just in case I confuse anyone there. The problem is now Boris Johnson asks himself, is this good for France and Germany? Merkel asked herself, oh, she's not even the fucking PM anymore. Olaf Scholz They ask themselves, is this good for England? Is this all right for Scotland? It's not your job, you silly twat. All prime ministers and presidents should be nationalists. The British prime minister should only care about Britain. The French prime minister should only care about France. And the fucking Spanish president should only care about Spain. That's not controversial. It's like the fucking CEO of Burger King only caring about Burger King. He's not sitting there worrying, fucking hell, will our new burger hurt KFC? If he does, he's a twat and he needs sacking. And that's what all of our bastard politicians need to learn. Le Pen is a better option than Macron. I disagree with plenty of Le Pen's policies, but Le Pen is a better option because Le Pen cares about France and Macron cares about the whole fucking world. Far out, man. Yeah. Take that hippie crap, roll it up and shove it up your dirt box. It's bollocks. It's harming the working class. It's crushing working class communities. It's fucking us all. So get rid of it. Right? Done. It's close. Best of luck to fucking her. Right? Best of luck to her. These twats know nothing. Macron doesn't give a flying fuck about French people. All he cares about is the global worldview. So fuck him. I hope he loses. Right, anyway, that's nearly an hour. Have a good weekend. Have a good drink. Enjoy yourselves. Relax. And then I'll wind you all up again on Monday. So you get rid of the stress for the weekend and get ready to be pissed off again on Monday. All right? Cheers for listening, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Like and share and subscribe to all the people that I've mentioned. Sensible, wise people like Rotten Politics and Blue Van Man and Pars and Simon. And We Got a Problem. I'm assuming you're already all in there anyway, because we've got a nice, good, tight-knit community on YouTube these days, despite the efforts of our fucking, that wizened husk in YouTube HQ. But yeah, do it anyway. Thanks for listening. Have a good weekend. I'll see you all on Monday. Tally ho. See you later.